Hi everybody. One of my favorite things to grow is herbs, and I grow perennial and a lot of self-seeding herbs. So today I thought I'd walk you through what herbs I have in the garden. So let's go. So I won't say that I hate any herb that I grow, but sage is my least favorite simply because I'm not a big fan of the flavor. So you can tell that this plant is a little bit on the leggy side. Usually when you're growing perennial herbs, you'll prune them, and you'll get those nice big bushy plants, whereas this is kind of a sad plant. After 2 years, it's kind of a sad plant because I didn't prune it a lot. I didn't use it a lot. So last year I actually pruned some of the leaves, dried it, and made my own poultry seasoning, and that was really good. So I'm more optimistic this year about growing sage, but I'm not one of those, sage burning girls, so this has not been my favorite. Quick side note, you might notice a lot of random what look like weeds in the garden. First off, probably is weeds because we haven't done garden maintenance weekend yet. We're still waiting on our compost to get here. So yeah, it looks a mess, but you will see a lot of carrots that are throughout this garden. So that's because when I grow carrots, they're biennial. I let them flower and I take the seed and just spread it all over the garden because number one, we eat a lot of carrots, and number two, when they do flower, it is amazing and they're really good for cut flowers. So yes, you will see lots and lots of carrots throughout my video. We were talking about carrots and the self-seeding nature of the carrot seeds, but cilantro is another one of those lovely herbs that will self-seed, and that is amazing for us because we love cilantro. We use it in a lot of dishes. So I usually don't buy it from the grocery store because it handles cold weather okay, so I have it for most of the year, but it's amazing to have this just growing it out in the yard. Usually I can find it someplace, even if it's not here, we have it growing all over the place. So cilantro is one of my faves. But parsley, on the other hand, not so much. Not because I don't love the taste, but with parsley, it takes a very long time for the seeds to sprout. And for the plant to grow into a substantial amount of herbs. So you have to start the seeds really, really early, or you're going to be waiting for cilantro for ages. But it handles cold weather really, really nicely, that and cilantro. Also, when you're picking the parsley and cilantro, I usually pick like the middle leaf floret in each one. So not really good footage here. Okay, so boom, like that. That, helps the plant to kind of branch out. So nice, lovely parsley and cilantro. Okay, so one of my favorites is chives. And we'll go ahead and group in the green onions over there too. So I use these a lot for eggs and breakfast and really any meals that call for it. So I love these. They come back every year, and I've been using those over there for a couple of years now. They're actually going to flower, but I love chives. So chives is one of the great herbs of the garden. This is all the peppermint that we grew. This is all the peppermint that we grew within the rocks behind our screened-in porch. Like I mentioned in the oregano video, I don't like the rocks because the weeds grow throughout the rocks, which means it's more of a job for us. So why not grow things that we like that I don't want to pick out? And plus, I hear that peppermint keeps the snakes away, and we have had a few snakes in this garden. So peppermint is great for tea. So we cut it back, dry the leaves, and use it for tea throughout the winter time. And just love the smell in general outside. So you'll, have the wind blowing and you could smell the peppermint in the air. Okay, so the next herb on the list is lavender. and I love lavender, but I don't really use it for cooking. And as you can see, this one is half dead because of a really bad frost that we got last year, late last year in December. So this and my rosemary didn't do too well, so I have to actually trim this back. But I don't cook with lavender, and I haven't gotten to the point where I'm making like soaps and potpourri and, you know, all that stuff. I'm just not there yet. So this lavender, even though it smells really, really good, it's not at the top of the list because I'm not using it as frequently as the other ones. This herb here is, hi Baxter. This herb here is bee balm, and I absolutely love it because it smells so good and it grows like crazy. So it grows similar to the oregano. You can see it's kind of spreading, expanding. Mint spreads, oregano and bee balm expand. That's my take on it. So it smells good. Like just being here and going like this, you can smell how just great it is. You can use this for tea. Ladies, be careful when using it for tea because it can affect your body. But you use it for tea, it's really, really, really good with honey. And you can use it in your foods too. So I highly recommend growing bee balm. All right, here's the lemon balm. I love lemon balm for tea. Lemon balm tea is amazing. It helps to put you to sleep. It eases your stomach. It's awesome. So lemon balm is absolutely one of my favorites. It smells like citronella in the garden. The bees really love it. And it expands like oregano and not spreads like mint, because mint can be very obnoxious. Oregano, lemon balm, bee balm, those are the ways to go if you're planting in the garden. This is all Mojito Mint, and I don't even drink mojitos. I don't even like mojitos, and I have lots of Mojito Mint. So this is for my family members. This is for the bees that love mint and for medicinal purposes. So tons of Mojito Mint that spreads like wildfire. This was one plant and it's taken over this entire bed. It's also taking over the chamomile. So that's another herb that I wanted to bring up, which is chamomile, which I guess classifies as a flower, which could be a separate video, but it self-seeds in the garden. There's two different types of chamomile. I seeded both of them. This one is the self-seeding kind. The other one didn't succeed. So chamomile is really great for tea, but it smells like green apples. It smells really good. So on the other side, we have the oregano, which we've talked about in a separate video. I have gone oregano crazy. So if you want to know more about oregano, just watch that video. This herb is comfrey and it's great for the garden. So it's used a lot in permaculture gardening. You can use it for mulch. The leaves are really great for mulch, and it's a bioaccumulator, so it's taking up the nutrients from deep down in the ground, and the leaves are breaking down under your trees or whatever it is that you put the mulch under or the leaves under, and all of those nutrients go back into your plant. So I used it last year for the leaves, cutting it down and using the leaves under the fruit trees, but it's also good for medicinal purposes. So I have this great herbal medicine book. I'll link it down in the description, but it teaches you all about how to use these herbs to heal your body. And comfrey is good at stitching together wounds and healing bones. So I made some tincture out of that last year. I haven't had a need to use it, thank goodness. So I'll let you guys know if and when that occurs, hopefully never, but great perennial plant to have in the garden, multiple uses. I have a love-love relationship with rosemary. I care for it deeply, despite the fact that it doesn't survive well uncovered in Zone 7B. And this year in December, we had a really hard, winter frost. It was weird because we had like 2 weeks of winter, and after that it was great. But during those 2 weeks, I lost my baby. So You know, it doesn't look fantastic right now. I'm debating on whether I want to take it out and replace it. It was so beautiful last year. It really was. I actually have a couple of other rosemary plants in the garden. Those are not as big as this one is because they were shaded out by zucchini and other plants last year, and they too suffered from the really hard frost. So despite that, really love growing rosemary. It smells really good too. My hands down all-time favorite herb to grow in the garden is thyme, because I love cooking with thyme the most, and I found out last winter that I love making tea with it the most too. It's so fragrant, and I wasn't expecting it to be so good. It grows similar to rosemary on the woody stems, so you're not cutting it back the way you would oregano or bee balm or lemon balm or anything like that. But it seems to be very prolific. I mean, I planted this last year and it was very small, and it's grown significantly despite the cold frost. I'm actually really surprised that it's lasted. We have another thyme plant that has like a variegated leaf. That one was overshadowed by a zucchini plant last year, so it was suffering from its own problems, you know, despite the frost. The fact that that one survived the frost is amazing too. So thyme has, you know, become #1 in my list. Thanks for watching my herb garden tour. Hopefully you picked up on some herbs that you might want to add to your garden, or you can comment and let me know if you're already growing some of these herbs and how it's going for you. Maybe I could be doing something better. I'm sure I can. Firstly, weeding. But leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Coco. Hi. Come here, Coco.